All right, guys. So we're gonna do this is basically a different type of video. It's just gonna be like a quick appraisal type video for uh, my curiosity purposes. So basically, I'm gonna kind of do it like, I don't know if anybody's watched Storage Wars. When the person wins the locker, they go through and they say, "Oh, this is there's $200 there. This shelf is $300 there." That's kind of how we're gonna do this, and we're going to go through everything in my living room and in my toy room, and we're just going to base the values off of what things have sold on eBay, etc., etc. So we're going to go through everything, and it's just not going to be like this is not official or anything, but just a rough estimate of what my collection would sell for, like on eBay or on Shop Goodwill. This has been a collection that I've had since 2015. Really started building it in 2017. So we're gonna go through everything, give you a rough estimate, and then we'll show you some of the highlights of it, and we'll just go through everything. So we'll start on the west side of the property here. You've got your Care Bear plush collection here. You got a little other stuff. I estimate there's probably $150, $200 here, maybe a little bit more in the plush here. Some of these Care Bears go for like $5, $10 a piece, more, in that end. So then we'll start from the top row of the bookcase here. You've got a small Pound Puppies collection. 150 dollars up there, maybe a little bit more. You've got Cooler, the talking dog, and then, some of the better quality ones. All right, so now down here, you've got your 80s Masters of the Universe collection. I'd say maybe $500 plus. You've got a few gems in here. Dark Face Grizzlor is worth 75 to $100. You've got one of the let me get him in the picture here. This guy right here, he's worth at least 20 or 30. So probably 500 plus dollars here. Then you've got another two rows of G1 Transformers. Those are about 500 plus. These sell pretty good. And once again, I apologize for the lighting here. House is not very well lit. Next row is my Kenner Aliens collection. There's probably a couple $100 worth here. You've got Ripley in her exosuit. You've got, and it's hard to see, the giant queen alien in the back. So maybe $150, $200, anywhere from $100 to $200 a year, given the market. Down below, we have, if I can get it, it's hard to see. This is my original 80s Star Wars collection. Anywhere from $300 to $500 here. Star Wars stuff is pretty hot. Got a lot of the die cast stuff, 3 3/4 inch figures. You've got some plates, carrying cases here. So I would say $300 to $500 estimate there. Star Wars stuff is really collectible. All right. Then you've got your Ninja Turtle shelf. So you've got everything on the top of the cabinet here, and then all on the bookcase. I would say at least $1,500, $2,000 plus here. Just some of these plush alone, they go for $20 a piece. The bigger one's $40, $50. You've got the sewer playset, that goes for $50 to $100. I've got 3 up here. You've got the Technodromes, those go for $50 to $100 alone. The giant turtles go for $50 to $100. There, you've got some pieces here, like my Shogun Triceraton. He's worth $250. You've got complete figures up here. Accessories alone add the value to the collection. So you've got quite a bit of stuff up here. So I'd say $1,500 to $2,000 just on the bookcase alone in here. All right. Now you've got the south side of the living room. You've got more plush here. I'd say maybe $200-300. You've got Alfs there that go for $20 a piece. There's 6 of them. You've got Grubby from Teddy Ruxpin. You've got Freddy. I'd say at least $200-300, probably more, just in this little section here. A couple $100 on the shelf alone here. You've got, this is not very valuable, but you've got Garfield, Flintstones, some Looney Tunes stuff, Smurfs. Maybe $200 at most. All right. There's at least a couple $100 in small soldiers figures up here. I know each one of these can go for 10 to 20 bucks a piece. Down below, you've got Pokemon stuff. That's probably worth a couple $100. Pokemon stuff has gone up in value over the last couple of years. Now down below, you've got your original Jurassic Park figures. There's $500 plus here, I'd say, easily. The one figure alone, the Chaos Effect T-Rex, that is at least worth $300 on its own. Down below, you've got the Space Jam collection. $200 most. I'd say $100. $150, maybe $200, but probably on that lower end. Space Jam stuff isn't as collectible. Then you've got your original Street Sharks collection here. These guys go for at least $25, $30 a piece. I'd say there's at least a couple $100 worth of them in here. All right. Now you've got your Hellraiser figures. I'd say $150 on these guys. Resident Evil stuff, $200 to $300. I thought this valuation of the collection would be a little bit lower, but my PS2 chainsaw controller is worth at least $150 to $300. That's the one thing I kept at my old days of GameStop. Then you've got the DBZ collection. I'd say $100, $150, maybe $200 in that range. Then you've got your, open it up here, this is my entire collection of Power Rangers on this bookshelf. And you've got bad guys, good guys, 12-inch figures, 6-inch figures, Megazords. This would be a $500 to $700 shelf. You've got some of them that go for $100 a piece. Titanus is worth money. You've got all the original Megazords there. So there's some money there. Now, all these trolls up here, I'd say, anywhere from $150 to $500. I haven't individually valued them, but these are all rust trolls. These are my better quality ones. I do have some rare African-American trolls. I paid $15 a piece for those 5 or 6 years ago. And you go over here, and you've got more plush. There's probably a couple $100 worth of plush here. Not as valuable as the left side, but you got some Pokemon, Muppets, M&Ms, most of this little low dollar stuff. You've got Dr. Evil's Mini-Me there. He's worth a little bit. Let me go over to my drawer here. Maybe another $100 in this drawer. $50 of Pog stuff in here. The comic books, I really don't have a valuation on them. I could say maybe $500. You sell, not 500, maybe a couple hundred, because there's maybe a couple hundred in there. I have more comics. I probably have at least $500 worth of comics, but most of these guys, they go for, $1 to $5, depending on the condition of them. But you could sell them locally for $1 to $5 a piece. And there's at least several hundred in here. So several $100 retail value. All right. Going over to this side now. To the fridge. Here we've got our Smurfs collection. I'd say $100, $150 if I was lucky on those. All original Peyo Smurfs from the 80s. Not big sellers. Okay, so now on the top shelf here, you've got my entire collection of 80s Dak and Garfield. I'd say a couple $100, $500 at the most. These guys are kind of slow sellers, but when you put them in a big lot, they will sell better. And you've got a lot of themed ones. Some of them are new with tags. I'd say maybe you could get $500 for the whole set, possibly more. Like I said, I'm not an appraiser, but I just go by what I see online. All right, some of this stuff's going to be kind of hard because it's magazines and books. I've got some Pokemon cards in here. all from first gen. There's probably at least a couple $100, but those are very difficult to value because of condition and things like that. None of them are like in gradable condition. All right, so I do have Nintendo Power. Some of the first 3 issues here, 1, 2, and 3 are back in there. At least a couple $100 on those. All right, so now down below here, these 2 shelves, you've got 2 rows of vintage Damn Trolls. These are from the 70s and the 60s. I tried to bid on a lot years ago for 15 of them, and there's probably 2 to 3 times that in here, and I lost the bid, and it went up to like $350. So I would say anywhere from $300 to $500 on these, because some of these guys go for $10 to $30 a piece on them. The smaller ones not as much, but you've got quite a few in there. So now I'll go to the video game section here. This is my game closet. In here, you've got everything from PS2 to Nintendo to Xbox 360. On the games, I would estimate there's at least $1,000 to $2,000 here. You've got games anywhere from $5 all the way up to $50. I have 2 games that are sealed. My most valuable one is Gungrave here. Let's see if we can get up to it. Right there. Gungrave is sealed. Rise of Kai is sealed. You can focus. But there's probably at least a couple thousand just in games if I sold everything individually. Because like I said, you've got different prices. You've got a lot of N64, Sega Genesis, regular NES, DS, Game Boy. Now you've got systems. I've got 1 Sega Dreamcast. They go for over $100. They're valuable. I've got 3 GameCubes. Those go for over $100. GameCube prices have gone up. Like I said, I do have GameCube games, and GameCube games in general have shot up in price. I've got about 10 PS1s. $20 to $50 a piece. I've got about 6 or 7 Xbox 360s. Those go for $50 to $60 a piece. So quite a few games in here. Now we'll go to the actual room. And this is and we'll try to focus. Once again, lighting's not great in here, but this is the room. This is the toy room. Years in the making. We've got shelves after shelves. We'll start from the south side and work our way up to the north here. So this row here is all Ninja Turtles. So everything you see here is all TMNT. This one drawer here alone is probably $500 to $700, at least, probably more. I see lots similar to this with 200-300 pieces sell for that, and there's probably close to 1,000 pieces here. So I would say $500-700, maybe even more. So you've got probably at least over $1,000 just on this shelf. The X-Men stuff, you've got a bunch of Marvel, and these totes, I'd say at least $500. You've got, they're not as collectible, but you can sell them off $2-3 a figure. The bigger ones go for like 10. So there's probably at least worth $500 here. Probably another $300 or $400 down below as well. You've got another maybe $300-400 worth of figures here. These are all 90s things. And then in here, I don't know, $50 party stuff in here. You've got some vintage 80s stuff. If we can zoom over here, all party favorites like Superman, Star Wars, Roger Rabbit. You've got, this is The Mask, not the movie The Mask with Jim Carrey, but a different. But you've got a lot of 80s stuff in here, 90s stuff, all like party favor stuff. Crazy Bones, maybe a couple $100 in those. I don't have a good valuation, and there's another few hundred at least in 90s toys here. You've got Batman stuff. I'd say my Batman stuff, at least $200 to $300 on my Batman stuff. That's, like I said, that's not as valuable, but I've got quite a bit of it. My 80s drawer, I could say maybe 500 on the 80s stuff. You got one tote. You've got another tote full of He-Man stuff just in here. So this is all my Masters of the Universe. So you've got stuff there. You've got smaller 80s figures, accessories, your larger 80s figures. I've got a whole set of She-Ra in there with their accessories. All right, now this top shelf alone, I would say anywhere from $200 to $500. You've got the Bruce Wayne's Manor there. You've got some 12-inch figures of RoboCop, Terminator, Batman, California Raisins, some 90s Star Wars stuff. You've got another giant plush Ralph. He's worth $50. You've got 2 Super Nintendos. Those are worth at least $100 complete. I've got 3 N64s. Those are worth over $100 each. 2 of them have an expansion pack, which increases their value. We've got some Bugs Life stuff. $50 on that. You've got some California Raisins party favors. $50 on that. You've got this top shelf. $200 to $400 here. You've got some vintage TV. You've got Star Trek. You've got some Flintstone stuff from the 60s. Wizard of Oz Emerald City playset by Megalo. Him alone is like worth $50. $20 on the Garfield stuff. $20 on the Kool-Aid guys. $20 to $50 on the Fisher Price. You've got other little things here. Then you've got some gaming accessories. These Target GBAs go for about $100 a piece. You've got a DS Lite. They go for $40. You've got some memory cards. You've got a Sega Genesis Game Gear. Down below, you've got some other missile things. $10 there. $10 on the Pizza Hut things. The Hook stuff, maybe $50 worth of Hook stuff in here. $40, $50 of Hook figures. You've got Mighty Max. There's maybe $100 there. My G.I. Joe. So I have G.I. Joe from the 80s, 90s. And then you've got parts. I would say 500 plus on the G.I. Joe stuff just in the drawers. These little figures go for quite a bit. Couple $100 on the miscellaneous Hot Wheels and Matchbox toys. You've got at least a couple $100 in Micro Machines. Possibly, I would say more. Another $100 in Pokemon stuff. You've got vintage G.I. Joe. There's a couple $100 there. Battle Trolls, $50. Pez, $100. Now you've got your gaming accessories here. You've got your Sega Dreamcast controllers. I've got 3 of those. They go for $15 to $20 a piece. Probably $100 worth of Sega Genesis controllers. N64, they also go for $10 to $25 a piece, depending on the condition and the color. You've got like 6 or 7 in that drawer. GameCube, the same deal. You've got a bunch in there. Then you have NES. There's probably $50 to $100 worth of controllers in there. And then you've got maybe $50 of Tiger Electronic Games. Got another $50 down there. You've got PS1 controllers. These are the colored ones. There's probably $100 worth of controllers there. Another over $100 here. Over $100 in this drawer. You've got Xbox. There's probably $50, $60 there. Then you got your Fisher Price Little People stuff. There's probably worth $500 of Fisher Price stuff there. It's kind of a slow seller. It's not like G.I. Joe. You've got Beast Wars. 2, 3. There's probably 500 plus there in the Beast Wars stuff. Because some of those guys go for like $20 to $50 a piece. And I have some of the bigger ones too. Now this whole shelf here, This is all vintage Star Wars. Not vintage. This is all from the 90s. And you've got, I'd say, probably $500 worth of stuff here. It's not the fastest seller. It's very common. A lot of stuff so you can find it new in the box. But yeah, 500. Then on top of here, you've probably got another $500 worth of stuff. You've got at least $200 to $300 worth of alien figures new in the box. These Exo Squads go for 30 to 50 a piece. You've got some sealed Power Rangers, Micro Machines. So you've got all of that. Then in here, you've probably got another couple $100 easily in sealed X-Man. Probably another $200 to $300 worth of sealed stuff here. Probably another couple $100 worth of junk down there. And then in here, there's another couple $100 worth of stuff up here. You got the Big Jim Sports Camper. That's probably 50 to 60 bucks. You've got the Fisher Price Little People Farm Set in box. Probably got another $100 worth of stuff there. Pokemon stuff. Yeah, 50, $100 there. Silly Slammers, 20 to 50 bucks there. Meanies, 50 bucks there. This is just all coal stuff here. It's junk. I don't know if there's really a value. And then you probably got another like $50 to $100 worth of stuff there. You got another at least $100 to $200 in California raisin stuff there. You probably got another couple $100 of, these are figures that I don't typically collect past 1990s. Oh, another 20 bucks of McDonald's stuff there, no value. But that is pretty much most of the stuff. We'll see if I can get any to the garage here, because I've got a few more things in the garage as well. And then, yeah, you've got some totes here. Star Trek stuff. There's probably $50 worth of stuff there. $50 to $75 stuff there. Probably another couple $100 worth of trolls in those totes. Then you have maybe $100, $200 of Power Ranger stuff there. You've got at least $100 to $200 in G.I. Joe stuff there, probably more. Batman stuff, at least $100, $200 there. Couple $100, $150 in Trolls there. Got some more miscellaneous stuff. More Power Ranger stuff. That's probably another $100, $150. This is probably another couple $150, $200. And then just a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, another $200 probably in there. Another $100, $150 in Trolls there. But that's the garage. And then you got a few more things up here. Maybe $100, $150 stuff there. You've probably got another $500 in comics if you sell them for $1 a piece, and there's like eight bins here, so there's probably more than that. But that is the general appraisal of our collection. It's not for insurance purposes. It's just a brief valuation of everything. It's probably worth more because you have to go in and research. There might be things that I don't realize that have value. But that is the bulk of my collection. Just a brief kind of Storage Wars type themed video. We didn't go through everything. That was just 80-90% of what I have.